So the third step, or the third tip when teaching someone to read and using phonics, once you've clarified what phonics means, what alphabet, letter and word means, you want to establish purpose. Now, it's all fine to teach someone to read, but they must have a purpose or a reason for doing this. When teaching a subject to any students, to just teach to memorize to pass an exam or something like that, it's a pointless exercise. The person, the student, has to have a purpose in studying something. And this is something which has failed to be established in most schools. You know, a person does math or other topics. Sorry, I was going to say other languages. And also other languages, actually, you know, they've got to learn German or French or whatever. But if they have no reason for it, or they have no purpose and they don't intend to apply it, the student just won't really learn because they don't have a purpose in themselves. It's the same thing with reading. So establish a purpose with the student. Even if your child is 3 years old or 4 years old, it doesn't matter. Even 2 years old. What is a good thing about reading? What could you achieve about reading? So let's give you an example here. You have a little book. This is a reader, Games We Like. Now, by discussion, you can very quickly establish with a child a purpose to reading. You know, hey, look, if you can read, you can learn. And this is the objective of reading. You're learning to read so you can read to learn. Because listen, once a person can read with full comprehension and know what to do to achieve that full comprehension, because that's not taught in school, obviously, because we want to make, you know, they want to make robots in school. So you don't want to teach real comprehension or how to achieve comprehension. That's not taught. It's just enough to read. But we're not interested in that. We want to read with understanding, read with comprehension, with purpose. Now, when a person can read fully and know exactly what to do to achieve full comprehension, life is open to them. All of life is open to them because you can study anything. You can go, I mean, an example is myself. I was mum at home. I worked in a supermarket, Sainsbury's supermarket. Now, I had been homeschooled myself, but I could read very well and very well educated in that area. And obviously, a very big user of dictionaries, as you can see behind. But you know what? I decided I've got children and I'm going to focus entirely on raising them. But once that was done, I thought, tell you what, when I was a kid, I wanted to learn aviation and aircraft engineering. So I'm going to go and study aircraft engineering. And I went to university to study it without any lack of confidence, nothing of the sort. You know, because I know how to study. I know how to read with comprehension. So I'm just giving you my own personal example on this because I have done it personally. I went to study a university degree at 33. I have no secondary school certificates. I just self-studied everything I needed to self-study to get into the university, going to university, did my degree in aircraft maintenance engineering and combined with mechanical or aeronautics, and graduated at the first and got a job within 6 weeks. And I was 38 when I graduated. So I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here. I'm just making you aware that many people, by the time they're 30, 40, they think, oh no, that's the end. They're not educated. They've got no certificate. They can't succeed. It's not true. It's just not true. If you can study, if you can learn, all world is open to you. The world is your oysters. So as you're teaching your children, you start right from the beginning and you teach them to read with comprehension. So the following tips that are coming up, and I'm going to go on to tip number 4 in the next video, you just work at it. And I'm hoping the 10 tips I'm going to give you here will give you a good idea on how to get started. But comprehension, reading with comprehension, reading with purpose.